Denny Hamlin thought he was teaching a young driver a lesson. Instead, Carson Hocevar turned one overtime move into a full-blown war. One wreck at Atlanta lit a fire that could change the entire NASCAR season. And the next time they line up side by side, it will not just be about the win. It all started in overtime at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The field was stacked tight. The tension was high. Every driver understood that one decision could decide the race. In that split second, 23-year-old Carson Hocevar saw a gap between Bubba Wallace and Christopher Bell. Most veterans would argue the gap never truly existed. Hocevar believed it did. He drove into it anyway. Metal met metal. Bell slammed into the wall. The race erupted into chaos. For some, it was a reckless move that crossed a line. For others, it was the kind of fearless aggression that built NASCAR's greatest legends. What happened next turned a racing incident into a cultural flashpoint. On his podcast, Actions Detrimental, Denny Hamlin did not hold back. The veteran driver, a Daytona 500 winner, and one of the most respected voices in the garage, called Hocevar's move reckless. He warned that behavior like that does not go unanswered. In NASCAR, drivers have long memories, respect is currency, and when someone spends it recklessly, there are consequences. Then came the comment that sent social media into overdrive. A fan compared the situation to an old dog versus puppy dynamic. Hamlin responded by likening Hocevar to a puppy that defecates in your bed. The analogy was blunt. It was personal. And within minutes, it was everywhere. Clips circulated across X. Screenshots flooded Instagram. NASCAR fans debated the remark on podcasts and radio shows. Instead of damaging Hocevar's reputation, the comment appeared to fuel it. The backlash was immediate. Many fans sided with the young driver. They pointed to the standings. After just 2 races, Hocevar sat 4th in the championship. Hamlin sat 27th. That contrast sharpened the narrative. A 23-year-old rising star near the top of the standings. A veteran struggling early in the year publicly criticizing him. To many fans, it felt like a shift in power. Hocevar has built his reputation on aggression. He drives like someone who knows opportunities are rare and margins are thin. He is not waiting in line. He is forcing doors open. Hamlin represents a different era. He came up in a time when veterans commanded space on the track, when rookies learned lessons the hard way, when an aggressive move without consequence was almost unheard of. That difference in philosophy now sits at the center of this feud. Dale Earnhardt Jr. added another layer to the story. The Hall of Fame driver and one of the sport's most influential voices publicly pushed back against Hamlin's frustration. Earnhardt made it clear that NASCAR badly needs drivers like Hocevar. Drivers who are not afraid. Drivers who create tension. Drivers who stir emotion. That statement was more than support for one young racer. It was commentary on the state of the sport. For years, NASCAR has worked to maintain relevance in a rapidly changing sports landscape. Personality matters. Rivalries matter. Viral moments matter. Hocevar's move at Atlanta and Hamlin's reaction to it delivered all 3. Inside the garage, the divide is real. Veterans often speak about respect as something earned over time. You do not take risks that destroy another driver's day without expecting payback. There is an unwritten code. Cross it, and someone eventually reminds you of it. Younger drivers see the equation differently. The modern era rewards boldness. Sponsors value visibility. Fans gravitate toward personalities. Playing it safe rarely builds a brand. Hocevar's approach fits the modern model. He races hard. He does not apologize for occupying space. He understands that being noticed can be as valuable as finishing position. But the finishing position is also there. 4th in the standings after 2 races is not luck. It is performance. That reality makes the feud more complicated. If Hocevar were struggling, Hamlin's criticism might feel like veteran guidance. With Hocevar running near the top, the criticism feels more like a warning from someone who sees the future arriving quickly. Hamlin is not just a driver. He is also a team owner. He has a vested interest in stability and structure. When a young driver disrupts the order, it challenges more than just track position. It challenges hierarchy. The Atlanta incident has also reignited a broader debate about what NASCAR should be. Should drivers leave space in overtime knowing the risks? Or should they seize every opportunity, even if it means contact? Atlanta's modern configuration encourages tight pack racing. Margins are inches. Decisions are instinctual. Hocevar trusted his instinct. Christopher Bell paid the price. In the immediate aftermath, drivers and analysts dissected the move frame by frame. Some argued Hocevar was clear enough to justify the attempt. Others insisted the gap was never viable. The truth lies in that gray area that defines so many NASCAR controversies. What is undeniable is the reaction. Hamlin's warning that revenge would come added fuel to an already burning story. NASCAR history is filled with retaliation. From bump and runs to subtle squeezes, payback has long been part of the sport's identity. If something happens between Hamlin and Hocevar in the coming weeks, the Atlanta incident will be the reference point. That possibility keeps fans watching. Social media has amplified every angle of this feud. Younger fans have rallied behind Hocevar, viewing him as a symbol of fearless ambition. Older fans have defended Hamlin's stance, arguing that unchecked aggression leads to unnecessary wrecks and damaged equipment. The generational divide is not just about age, it is about philosophy. Hamlin built his career in an environment where patience often paid off. Hocevar is building his in an era where hesitation can cost everything. The numbers continue to shape perception. 4th in points versus 27th is a powerful contrast. It frames the debate as performance versus authority. To be precise, as of the latest standings following the Ambetter Health 400 at Atlanta, Carson Hocevar has 76 points, placing him 4th in the Cup Series standings. In contrast, Denny Hamlin has recorded 31 points, leaving him in 27th place. Yet Hamlin's resume commands respect. He is one of the most accomplished drivers of his era. His voice carries weight because he has earned it over decades of competition. That is why this feud resonates. It is not a random clash. It is established excellence confronting emerging audacity. Earnhardt's defense of Hocevar also reflects a recognition that NASCAR thrives on tension. Some of the sport's most memorable seasons were defined by rivalries. Fans do not just remember champions. They remember conflicts. If Hocevar continues to run near the front, and if Hamlin rebounds from his slow start, their paths will intersect again under higher stakes. Imagine a late race restart with both drivers fighting for the win. Every move will be scrutinized. Every bump will be magnified. That is the power of narrative. There is also a psychological element unfolding. Hocevar now carries the weight of attention. Being labeled reckless by a veteran can either intimidate or motivate. Early signs suggest it motivates. Hamlin, on the other hand, must navigate the optics of criticizing a driver who is outperforming him in the standings. If his results improve, his argument gains credibility. If they do not, the narrative grows harsher. The Atlanta moment may ultimately define this season's tone. If retaliation occurs, it will confirm the old-school code still governs the garage. If nothing happens and Hocevar continues aggressively with minimal consequence, it signals a shift. NASCAR's leadership also watches closely. The sport benefits from heated rivalries, but it must balance entertainment with safety. Aggressive moves draw viewers. Wrecked race cars draw criticism. Hocevar's style walks that line. Fans often claim they want drivers with personality. Hocevar is delivering it. Hamlin's outspoken response adds another dimension. Together, they have created a storyline that extends far beyond one track. The garage whispers matter. Drivers talk. Teams analyze. Alliances form and dissolve. A feud can ripple through strategy decisions and drafting partners. Will drivers hesitate to push Hocevar in tight situations? Will they race him harder? Those subtle shifts can shape outcomes. The bigger picture reveals a sport at a crossroads. The veteran generation still holds influence. Their experience guides teams and shapes policy. The younger generation is arriving with different instincts and different expectations. Respect used to be earned over seasons. Now it can be demanded through performance in weeks. Hocevar's 4th place standing is a statement. Hamlin's podcast response is a counterstatement. Neither side appears ready to back down. In the end, NASCAR may benefit most from the tension. Fans are engaged, debates are active, viewership spikes when conflict intensifies. But inside the cars, this is personal. Hamlin believes in a code. Hocevar believes in opportunity. Atlanta was only the beginning. The next time they line up side by side, the air will feel heavier. Every mirror glance will carry meaning. Every inch of track will feel contested. Rivalries shape eras. They define champions. They test resolve. Denny Hamlin and Carson Hocevar are no longer just competitors sharing asphalt. They are representatives of two philosophies colliding at full speed. Experience versus fearlessness. Tradition versus disruption. Control versus momentum. And as the season unfolds, the question remains: Will the old guard enforce its standards, or will the new generation rewrite them in real time? The answer will not be spoken on a podcast. It will be decided at 180 miles per hour, inches from the wall, with the entire NASCAR world watching.